Fantastic. Shabbat Shalom, Cantor. Thanks for the cue sheet here.
All right, we're about to start.
I know that. I will sit down.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. Let me, I got a sound check with Jason. All right, so we're in D. Mm-hmm. We can start to... Amazingly. Ein od, ein od, ein od, ein od, ein od, ein od. Try these words. They're ein and od. They're really easy. Ein od. And that means without end. And this is a song without end. Try it with me. Ein od. Ein od. Ein od. Ein od. I lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Ein od, ein od. Let me hear you now. Ein od. Ein od, ein od, ein od.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mine disappeared.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy New Year. It's great to see everybody here, the first Shabbat of 2024. So before we start tonight, I just want to make sure that you all heard about the big news for next week, which is going to be really exciting. We have Governor Hochul coming to speak here at Temple Beth-El as part of our MLK Shabbat, which is going to also feature some wonderful music. Cantor, you want to say anything about the music?
Well, we've got our interfaith choir that's been getting together for so many years, led by Nigel Gretton, and then we're going to be joined by Sheer Appeal, a Jewish vocal ensemble from Tufts University. So we're going to have a lot of fun music.
It's really going to be a special evening, and we're honored to have such a high-profile speaker as the governor of New York coming to Temple Beth-El. Also, one other thing before we start. Arlene has been begging me, and I keep forgetting to say something about this. But out in the lobby, or right outside in the hallway where the prayer books are, we have a whole bunch of these books. This is Mishkan Tefillah for Travelers. It's a paperback version of our Siddur. It's real easy to carry around. It's lightweight. And there are a whole bunch of them, and you can take them for free. If you would like a copy of it, just please take one with you. We have many of them, and we want you to have them. So
We want to find out where you go with them, where you take them.
Exactly. So please feel free to take them so that you can have a prayer book of your own. And with that, I think we're going to start this evening. We're going to begin on page 12, Psalm 95, Lechuna Ranana.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria letzur ishenu, nekadem afanav betoda. Naria, naria letzur ishenu, Bizmiro naria lo, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai.
On page 7, turn back with me to page 7 and let's read. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Together. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. On page 20.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shahamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 2. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי. אורי, אורי, שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
If it is your custom to rise for the last verse, please do so.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
On page 22, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון בכינור מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון צדיק תמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשיבה תשינים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו.
On page 28, please rise if you're able. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 la la la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Page 30, together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
Page 32.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן, אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים.
Ani
Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet v'emunah.
Together on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Page 40.
Moshe ומרים ובני ישראל יכענו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלך מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Malchutecha ra'u vanecha Okay, ayam livnei Moshe umiriam Ze Eli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar kifada Adonai et Yaakov go'alo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael
Page 42.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Leshalom Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Leshalom Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Leshalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Leshalom Lift us up, Adonai You'll spread your wings over us all keep us safe, and give us peace. L'shalom, l'shalom, l'shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, l'shalom, l'shalom, l'shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Haporei sukat shalom aleinu, aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. On the opposite page.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 46. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. Please rise if you're able.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומסיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Feel free to continue your private meditations at your own pace. You can also join me on page 60 for the evening prayer for peace. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav. Ki ata hu melech adon, melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit uvechol sha'a bishlomecha, bishlomecha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav.
I invite you now to think of those friends and family members that you have who are struggling with illness or pain or anxiety or fear. Hold them in your hearts along with people you don't know, people around the world who are suffering. There are many of them. And I invite you now to share the names of people you're praying for if you desire, as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. May God be with all of them and bring them a renewal of body and spirit. Page 253.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. מי שברך אמותינו, מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
In our Tuesday night Intro to the Jewish Classics course, we've been learning about Rabbinic Midrash. For those of you who haven't been in the class, and it's not too late to start coming, Midrash is a form of creative interpretation that fills in gaps in the biblical story. One of the most glaring gaps in the Torah comes in this week's parashah, Shmot, at the beginning of Exodus. Here's the scene. A baby boy is born to Hebrew parents who are enslaved in Egypt. To save her child from Pharaoh's decree that all newborn Hebrew boys must be killed, the mother puts her son in a wicker basket and sets it afloat on the Nile. The Pharaoh's daughter comes upon the basket while she's bathing in the river. She opens it, finds a baby inside, and decides to adopt the child and raise him as her own son. And then, all we're told is, sometime after that, when Moses had grown up, he went out to his kinsfolk and witnessed their labors, which is a big jump. What about Moses' childhood in the Pharaoh's palace? What about his young adult years? Here's where Midrash comes in. The sages tell us that Moses was a precocious little prince who would sometimes take the crown off the Pharaoh's head and put it on his own. He also became kind of the conscience of the palace, telling Pharaoh that even slaves need 1 day a week to rest. And Moses walked the walk too, often going out to the fields and helping the slaves with their work. Beyond this, though, the Midrash doesn't say much about what it was like for Moses growing up as a prince of Egypt. But fortunately, in the 1950s, the great quasi-midrashist Cecil B. DeMille picked up that baton in his epic film and my favorite movie of all time, The 10 Commandments. The first 2 hours of the 4-hour movie is about Moses' life as an Egyptian royal, and it's fantastic. In DeMille's telling, Prince Moses is the toast of Egypt. The Pharaoh likes him better than he likes his own son, the ornery and sinister Ramses, played by Yul Brynner. Early on, crowds of people welcome Moses home as a conquering hero. He has big muscles, fantastic clothes, and the beautiful princess is madly in love with him. Even the Hebrew slaves love him because, in addition to being mighty, brilliant, and brave, Moses is also a righteous and compassionate proto-abolitionist. In short, Moses' early years were, well, pretty awesome. Watching this movie over and over again as I did when I was a kid, I always wondered why he decided to give it all up just because he found out he was born as a Hebrew. Even Moses' adopted mother, the Pharaoh's daughter, told him to forget about it, go back to his sweet life in the palace. After all, she said, one day you'll be Pharaoh and you can free the slaves. I thought she made pretty good sense. But Moses wouldn't have it. He insisted on trading in the power and the clothes and the girl for the brick pits and the taskmaster's whip. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, why did Moses make this choice? We'd probably say he knew it was the right thing to do. It would have been easier to stay, but he resisted the temptation and chose the moral route. It was a great triumph of Moses' free will over his baser instincts. Jewish tradition certainly supports this view. The idea that God created human beings with free will is a fundamental tenet of Jewish theology. It's what makes humans different from every other creature in the world. While other living things' actions are instinctual and involuntary, only human beings have the ability to choose what we're going to do. But if this is taken for granted in Jewish thought, it is the subject of controversy in the realm of science. This past week, I started reading a really interesting book by a prominent Stanford University biologist named Robert M. Sapolsky. The book is called Determined: A Science of Life Without Free Will. I'm only about a quarter of the way through it, but so far I'm finding it fascinating. Sapolsky's thesis is that free will is a myth. In truth, he says, all we are is the history of our biology, over which we had no control, and of its interaction with environments, over which we also had no control, creating who we are in the moment. Everything we do, he argues, is the result of something that happened 1 second before in our brain, and 1 second before that, and 1 second before that, and 1 hour or year before that, and centuries and millennia before that, all the way back to the beginning of human evolution. It's a seamless, uninterrupted process. And he says there's no point in the sequence where you can insert a freedom of will that will be in that biological world, but not of it. Consequently, he maintains that while it sure may seem at times that we are free to do as we intend, we are never free to intend what we intend. This is because intention itself is the product of some particular brain activity that was determined by all those innumerable factors that led up to the present moment. In short, free will supposes some essential me that can make decisions apart from my biology. But Sapolsky argues that because our biology is the sum total of who we are, there is no essential non-biological me to make those decisions. Consequently, there is no such thing as free will. If Sapolsky is right, it means that Moses didn't choose, per se, to give up his princely life and cast his lot with the Hebrew slaves. Rather, his brain, formed as it was by the complex interactions between his genes, his environment, and the broader forces of human culture and evolution, determined that he would do so. All this begs the question: would Moses have become Moshe Rabbeinu, the liberator and the lawgiver, had he not been raised as a prince of Egypt? Based on Sapolsky, we'd have to infer that the answer is no. Sapolsky explains that our ability to make executive decisions that go against our baser fears and desires is located in the prefrontal cortex of the brain, the PFC. Citing an array of scientific studies, he says that the kind of childhood you had shapes the construction of the PFC at the time and the sort of PFC you'll have in adulthood. Environmental factors like childhood abuse, low socioeconomic status, living in a neighborhood plagued by poverty and crime, and other forms of family and or communal dysfunction or disadvantage stunt the formation of the prefrontal cortex, which in turn impacts a person's behavior throughout their life. Sapolsky points to data showing that low economic status for a pregnant woman living in a high crime neighborhood both predict less cortical development at the time of the baby's birth, even back when the child was still in utero. He concludes, quote, that it takes a certain kind of audacity and indifference to look at findings like these and still insist that how readily someone does the harder things in life justifies blame, punishment, praise, or reward. Just ask those fetuses in the womb of a low socioeconomic status woman. already paying a neurobiological price. Moses grew in the womb of a slave, in what we have to assume were the worst possible conditions. But his gray matter was subsequently taking shape while he was being raised as a royal prince. This environment surely had a major impact on the formation of his prefrontal cortex, and thus on the decisions he made and the life he lived. Now, as I tell my son all the time, I was never good at science, so I have no idea if Sapolsky is right. He himself acknowledges that there are many scientists who disagree with him about free will. But let's assume that he is right. What does that mean for us? There is no question that subscribing to this view of the human being comes with significant implications. For one, Sapolsky argues that because a person's behavior is a function of biology rather than free will, it is immoral to punish someone for committing a crime, just as it would be immoral to punish them for having brown hair. Consequently, his theory of human behavior would seem to necessitate a complete rethinking of our concept of criminal justice. Maybe that's a good thing. Perhaps biology and compassion for a person's circumstance in life should play more of a role in our justice system. On a more mundane level, his theory of behavior would suggest that if you struggle to lose weight because you just can't bring yourself to exercise or give up junk food, don't be hard on yourself about it. After all, as he puts it, it's impossible to successfully will yourself to have more willpower. And it isn't a great idea to run the world on the belief that people can and should. Maybe taking this view seriously could help humanity conquer anxiety and stress, which would definitely be a good thing. Still, even if Sapolsky's theory represents the best possible understanding of modern science, it is important to remember not to confuse scientific knowledge with the totality of truth. Where biological science may conclude that free will doesn't exist, Jewish religion concludes that it does. And if science holds this view because it can't locate any human essence apart from a person's biology, religion holds its view because it locates the essence of the human being in what it calls the soul. I believe science, as my Facebook feed has admonished me to do, and yet against the scientific evidence, I also believe in the soul and in free will as a matter of faith. I believe in them because they tell me that I am greater than the sum of my biological parts. I believe in them because they make me want to continually be better and give me the confidence that I can. I believe in them because they teach me that what I do in my life matters beyond the horizon of my own time on this earth and beyond the memories of those who knew me. I embrace the knowledge that science affords me, and I also embrace the meaning that religion creates for me. And I'm comfortable with that because these two disciplines are not mutually exclusive. They are two discrete languages that we human beings have developed to speak about the infinitely complex phenomena of our existence. Sometimes, when one of those languages comes up short, the other can be useful. In some contexts, one is more appropriate than the other. But both are indispensable because each one offers the possibility of unique insights into our nature, our relationships, and our place in the world that the other language can't. Embracing the explanatory benefits of both science and religion is Duolingo at its finest. So I think we should all try to become conversant in both. As a good Ten Commandments fan, I say, so let it be written, so let it be done. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to pray now for the state of Israel and for the hostages who are still held in captivity.
Page 259. Avinu, Avinu, שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו, אבינו, שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. ברך, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו, הגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך. אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. ושלח אורך והמיתך, שריה ויוצאיה ויועציה ויועציה, ותקנם בעצה טובה, ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך. אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן. אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו. אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, צור ישראל וגואלו.
Page 282. Please rise.
Ein od, ein od, ein od, ein od. Join with us. Ein od, ein od, ein od, ein od. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר וראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We remember now our loved ones whom death has taken from this life. If it is your custom to do so, I invite you to rise as you hear the name of your loved one read. On this Shabbat, we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, for Beatrice S. Barr, Rabbi David Ellenson, Donna Ganzer, Ira Kleinberg, Dan Nachmanoff, Susan Ross, and Stanley Schneider. And we recall the yahrzeits of William Adelberg, Rosalind Berger, Robert S. Brown, Beatrice C. Chaprak, Benjamin Cooper, Harriet Corson, Ida Druxerman, Rochelle Heimberg, William Koppelman, Mort Lubert, Miriam Moore, Harry Pessar, Chester Sennett, Estelle Sechster, Milton Sirkin, Morris Strackman, Rose Strackman, Saul I. Wollner, Maisie Plain Yadlovker, Arlene D. Zucker. If you're remembering someone whose name wasn't read and you'd like to share it with us, please do so now. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Daisy. Thanks, Rebecca. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. I invite you to rise, if it's your custom to do so, and turn to page 294, and we'll join together in Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Bechayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yitalal shmei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. May their memories be for a blessing. We say together, Amen.
Amen.
Boker Tov. So reflexive from the morning minyan. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good to see everyone this evening. So I'd like to say some thank yous. First, thank you to Cantor Adam and to Shai for a really beautiful musical experience in worship this evening. Thank you to our wonderful usher, Phil, for greeting us warmly, as always. Thank you to our team, Joy P. and Jason. They are in the back, managing everything, making it all happen. Thank you to our Oneg bakers, Linda Diamond, Sharon Freeman, Ellen Safian, Jane Cohen, Cheryl Silverstein, Roberta Lulov, and Gloria Landsberg. And also thank you to Rabbi Megan and to Joy Allen and Karen Wasserman, our ECEC director. We had tonight, contemporaneous with our service, and here we have had our Tat Shabbat and family service going on, which Rabbi Megan is leading, and you'll see them in the Oneg afterwards. So it's really wonderful to have that happening in our community. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the service, in case you didn't hear, you came in afterwards, next weekend is very special here at Temple Beth-El. On Friday night, January 12th, we'll be celebrating our annual Martin Luther King Shabbat service, and Governor Kathy Hochul of our state of New York is going to be here to be our guest speaker. We'll also be honoring two of our members, Nina Koppelman and Ellen Meyerson, for their work in educating our community about anti-Semitism through their work with the ADL. And then, and as Cantor mentioned, there's going to be a wonderful interfaith choir and beautiful music for the service. Then the next morning, Saturday morning, we are going to be honoring the wonderful Lee Kaplan. Lee, are you here? There she is. We're going to be honoring Lee on Saturday morning, July 13th at our 10:30 a.m. service. This is really a special thing that we're doing, honoring members of our congregation who contribute their time and their dedication and their love and generosity to help make Temple Beth-El what it is. And Lee is one of those people, and we're going to be celebrating her. So please make an effort to come and support Lee. She'll be giving a guest of our Torah, and we'll be celebrating her in our community. Okay. Cantor, is there anything you'd like to add?
Governor Hochul will be here next weekend. I think we should make Kiddush.
All right, let's do it. I invite you to please rise.
ויכולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכול אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות צברי.
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
לחיים. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Ein od, ein od, ein lie, 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 lie.